The PAC paid over $108,000 for strategy consulting to a fashion designer by the name of Hervé Pierre.
Hervé Pierre was the designer behind some of the most elegant dresses made for America's first ladies, Hillary Clinton, Laura Bush, and even Michelle Obama. He was the person who had perfected their dresses. So, when Hervé Pierre agreed to design the gown for Melania Trump at the inauguration of her husband in 2017, it wasn't just another client for him. It was a turning point in his career. For decades, Pierre built a reputation on elegance and timeless design. But in a divided America, even fashion had become political. So what happened behind the scenes? And how did this one decision change the entire career of Hervé Pierre? The answers might surprise you, from Paris to the American dream. So, who exactly is Hervé Pierre? This isn't just another celebrity stylist story. Pierre was a student at the École de la Chambre Syndicale de la Haute Couture in the late 80s. This school can be considered the Harvard of learning fashion. It is where the world-class couture designers get their apprenticeships. At 24, Pierre became the head of haute couture at Pierre Balmain. When his peers were still at the starting line of mastering the basics of the field, Pierre was already the head of one of the most respected French fashion houses. However, Pierre had greater visions. He moved to New York and joined the Herrera firm in 1992. This was not merely a career move, it was a total life shift. Pierre was moving on to the high-speed world of American fashion after a lifetime in the Parisian high fashion world. He served 14 years at Carolina Herrera, where he left as creative director in February 2016. A decade spent in the world of fashion is an eternity. At big houses, most creative directors serve an average of 3 to 5 years. The fact that Pierre served in his position long enough demonstrates that he was more than talented. He was a trustworthy, dependable, and steady person. Designing that symbolizes America. Here's where the story gets really interesting. Pierre has designed outfits and put together looks for a range of American first ladies since the 1990s, including Hillary Clinton, Laura Bush, and Michelle Obama. Think about this for a moment. Pierre has outfitted first ladies of both parties in 3 decades. That is practically non-existent in the polarized fashion arena today. Pierre did his work without inclination towards a particular political personality. His goal was simple and centered on designing gorgeous outfits for women most in need. However, his connection with Melania Trump was not the same initially. Pierre reveals to the New York Times that he never met Melania apart from in January 2017, when he was contacted to design her inauguration gown. It seems that the two got on so well that now Pierre has become a kind of de facto stylist of Melania. The two clicked because they shared a similar vision of elegant and timeless fashion. Designer turned stylist. The New York-based designer had never worked as a stylist before the Trump administration. Pierre wasn't a professional stylist, he was a designer who happened to fall into styling. There's a big difference between these two roles. Designers create clothes from scratch. They sketch, choose fabrics, and oversee construction. Stylists typically select existing pieces from different brands and put them together. Pierre was doing both jobs. Working with the First Lady was a designer's fantasy, reveals the former Carolina Herrera creative director. Pierre described it as the ultimate creative challenge. First ladies don't just wear clothes. They send messages through their fashion choices. Every outfit had to work on multiple levels. It needed to be beautiful, appropriate, and symbolic. They needed to move gracefully during long ceremonial events, and they had to represent American fashion on the world stage. Pierre approached this challenge with the same precision he used at major fashion houses. He didn't just throw together pretty outfits, he created a complete wardrobe strategy, the meaning behind Melania's dresses. So, what were the best creations of Pierre for Melania Trump? The dreamy gown she wore in 2017 to accompany her husband Donald to the inaugural ceremony was designed by him. The gown didn't just make headlines, it made a statement. It respected the traditions of American fashion without appearing outdated. It was modern, yet not provocative. And most importantly, It marked the beginning of a unique partnership between Pierre and Melania that would span years and raise eyebrows. Fast forward to 2025, and Pierre once again captured attention with another inaugural ball gown. This time, a strapless off-white silk crepe dress with bold black silk gazar stripes. The design was more confident, more refined, reflecting not only Melania's evolution in the public eye, but Pierre's own growth as a designer navigating the very political world of dressing a first lady. The hidden pressures. But working with the First Lady wasn't as glamorous as it might seem. Pierre faced challenges unlike anything he'd experienced in his long fashion career. Because of strict security protocols, all dress fittings had to happen in secure locations. Every outfit had to be planned well in advance and approved by security teams before being worn. The pressure didn't stop there. Fashion critics examined every detail, each button, stitch, and accessory. But they weren't just judging the style. They were also analyzing the message behind each look. Was it politically sensitive, culturally appropriate, suitable for the event? Every design had to pass through that intense public lens. After the Trump presidency ended, Pierre quietly stepped away from the spotlight. It wasn't just about taking a break. It was about protecting his career and peace of mind in a world where fashion and politics often collide, building his empire. While he was creating standout outfits for Melania, Pierre was also building his own brand. He co-founded a fashion label called Atelier Kaito for Hervé Pierre, based in New York. Managing this new business while also being Melania's stylist wasn't easy. It took more than creativity. It required smart planning and strong business skills. Over time, Pierre chose to step away from the public spotlight. He didn't just want more privacy. He also wanted to protect his name in an industry where even quiet political connections can hurt your future. In fashion, working with someone controversial can close doors, no matter how talented you are. Pierre knew how the industry worked. So he moved carefully, always thinking a few steps ahead. Fashion and politics. Pierre's work with Melania sparked a lot of debate. Some designers refused to dress the Trump family because of their political views. Others felt that dressing any first lady, no matter her politics, was an honor and a way to be part of history. Pierre tried to stay above the drama. He said his focus was always on the art of design, not politics. He avoided interviews, stayed out of the spotlight, and let his work do the talking. But even with his quiet approach, he couldn't avoid attention. Just the fact that he was dressing Melania became a political statement, even if he didn't mean it to be. Melania and their bond. Pierre had a great bond with Melania, which allowed him to design many stunning dresses for her. According to Hervé Pierre, Melania Trump has a very clear artistic sensibility. She knows exactly what she likes, and more importantly, what she doesn't. He described her style as refined, favoring clean lines and subtle symbolism over anything flashy or loud. Pierre also said that Melania wasn't just a passive client. She took part in every step of the creative process, bringing her own ideas and strong visual instincts to the table. He said she taught him a new kind of perfection, one that goes beyond the physical design and touches memory, emotion, and meaning. By understanding her character, her guarded nature, strength, and independence, Pierre said he could create her presence, not just her look or actions. He credits her with showing him a deeper kind of precision, something that's not just about the cut of a dress, but about telling a story and creating an unforgettable image. To Pierre, Melania was more than just a client with good style. She was someone with a powerful sense of self, and dressing her meant crafting a feeling and a message that would last. At 60, Pierre continues to work and create. His silence about his famous client is finally breaking, giving us insight into one of fashion's most unique partnerships. His story reminds us that behind every iconic fashion moment, there's a talented professional making it happen. Whether you love or hate politics, you can't deny the artistry. Pierre created clothes that will be remembered long after the political debates fade. That's the mark of true fashion talent. Thanks for making it to the end. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more crazy celebrity stories like this one. In the meantime, what do you think of Melania Trump's fashion choices? Let us know in the comments below.